Okay, so that one, not so good. Back again this time. They were ready for another cassette review. I'll just put the cover up over there because you already know. Grindle, yada yada yada. I may just get non-servium tattooed across him because some days that is his motto. However, today what I want to talk to you about is an amazing release from an amazing label, and that would be Nicholas Maloney's An Influx of Linearity. We'll just do like the air Vanna White with Grindle there. I personally love Drone. I love listening to it. I love making it. It's just, there's something about it, and much akin to Denzu Artifacts, which I talked about last time. Important Drone releases tapes in batches of 3. I'm not sure if he maintains the schedule based on seasons that Denzu does, but you'll see him put up batches of tapes 3 at a time. And on his last one, he had Liminal Haze and Nicholas Maloney, both of which just made me go, holy crap. And it was Philip Sunday, I can't pronounce his name right, especially out of memory, but it was like Philip Sunday, I believe. Anyways, I'll put the name across the bottom. That continued on with a particular fascination that artist has, and I'll probably talk about that later on because it was a great release. Liminal Haze, as always, was wonderful, but this Nicholas Maloney tape caught me completely off guard. It was everything that I personally love about Drone. And if you have any desire to read more about Drone and you already haven't, I would highly recommend Hairy Swords, Monolithic Undertow. This is a beautiful book, exhaustive in its coverage of Drone. I have a few other books on Drone, yet none of them go into the depth that Hairy Sword does, and they're not quite. There's some of them that just get overly academic. I would say borderline pretentious, but no, they skipped over that border. They just flew right over it into ungodly territory. And that always has something interesting to be gleaned from them. You know, there is no work of art that's totally without purpose, but yeah, there's some navel gazing, and they're working on communal cracker there, if you get my drift. But Hairy Swords, Monolithic Undertow, amazing book. I'll probably review it in the future because I'm giving it too short a shrift here, but I really wanted to talk about Nicholas Maloney and Important Drone Records. Important Drone, I do believe I saw his initial post on Mod Wiggler asking about other people that compose Drone and use Drone. And the Drone that the label focuses on is almost a very pure Drone, is the best way to put it. I'll link to the Bandcamp so you can go and find out for yourself what I'm talking about here, because I won't be able to give it justice. Even though Drone is supposedly simple, it's akin to most art forms that appear very simple on the surface, and when you dive in, there's just a wide range of possibilities. And if you would like even more information about Important Drone and the man behind it, once again, I'm hyping him up. Daft Esoteric. Did I just say that? I do make that joke unintendedly every so often. Daft Esoteric at number 2. So sorry, Claude. Daft Esoteric at number 2. Has a great interview in here. I'm not gonna ruin, I was kind of surprised. I didn't know the pseudonym that he operated behind, but yeah, Daft Esoteric, I'll put the link down below. Definitely pick that up if you have any interest in this topic. But let's get to Nicholas Maloney's work, An Influx of Linearity. And starting off, I'm just gonna put the name of the first track down below. As usual, when I do record reviews, I want to give it a couple of thorough listens before I actually talk about the work in question. And when I first received this, I listened to it constantly, but I listened to it on speakers, and it just surrounds you and bathes you in just that purring oscillator sound that I adore so much. And I love reading to drone, and actually I read a lot to noise, which is particularly interesting. But when I went to listen to this on headphones, I kind of had that this won't be as interesting when I first started it, or as enveloping in sound as it is on a good pair of speakers. Not that I have a great pair of speakers. I have the Rocket 5s from KRK. They're studio monitors, and they're paced a little bit too close to me. Any audiophile would just sneer, but they're relatively good speakers. And I started listening to this work on headphones, and I had the monkey brain going on. It's not going to be as good, not as enveloping. Yeah, no, it completely was. And blast off, there you go. And the thing that I love about well done drone, which I would say that there is a school of camp of drone where they set the controls on their gear and they walk away, and there you go. Whereas people that are adept at creating drone and really care about it, they craft it lovingly. And Nicholas Maloney is no exception to this very arbitrary rule. As you start to listen to it, you have that purring oscillator that I talked about earlier. That goes on, but you also get frequencies that start to come in, and I'm not sure whether he has a filter on this a nice little frequency oscillator that's set for a very long time, what's going on there, but it comes in and you almost do not recognize that it's coming in, and then these overtones start occurring, and it's just, it catches you by surprise, yet at the same time it was there all along. It's a weird experience to try to explain, but oh my god, this track delivers in spades. And then we get to track 2, and once again, right across the bottom, because who knows. And track 2 starts, and it's almost as if this is his work processed through spring reverb or a plate reverb type of sound. And once again, that monkey brain part of me was going, yeah, this won't be as interesting or as enveloping, and then I was lost completely, totally, 100% lost. It was, once again, an amazing experience. And whereas in the first track I used the term overtones to describe some of the things that I was hearing, this may be harmonics, and that's such a how are you actually gonna say which is which? And I am too ignorant of a person to really tell you completely the difference, but yeah, it's just it's so good. It is so good. It makes me jealous. Like, I want to go burn my gear after I listen to this. And whereas I went into it going, oh my god, I'm gonna listen to 35-minute tracks back to back. Now I just want to jump under the covers and do it all over again. Like, if you cannot afford one of those flotation tanks, with the salt water, and you go in there and do your altered states type of thing, get this tape. I don't think the tapes are still available. I don't know. If I go to Bandcamp, it just has the you own this thing going on there. However, you can buy the digital download, and it is very much worth it. Get on Important Drone Records mailing list, follow them on Bandcamp so you get the alerts. And I, once again, like Denzu Artifacts, I snap up pretty much every release that's going on. And like I said before, I love to read while listening to noise and drone and that type of thing. So I recommend a book for you. This is the one I've been reading lately, which is Julia Kristeva, I believe is her name, and it's Black Sun. writings on depression and melancholia, and if you are a fan of the gothic or horror fiction in any way, shape, or form, I would definitely recommend this. I mean, you can only read that one issue of Collapse so many times before you start branching out, and yeah, this is perfect. You will love it. Grab anything off Imported Drone Records, anything off Denzu Artifact, buy Death to Esoterica, track down those bands, and I would highly recommend Black Sun, because it is so far an amazing book. And this is like the second or third time I've read it, but every time I read it, I find new stuff within there. And yeah, I think I've rambled on long enough. Love you guys so much. Have a wonderful Christmas. And you know what? Even in a Jimmy Stewart way, have a wonderful Christmas. I think it's amazing that it took an arch-conservative to make the most socialist Christmas movie ever made. And yes, I lifted that directly from Y Theory. Love y'all. Take care. Bye.